Hello. Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about stop caring and you will manifest. Hi, stop caring and you will manifest. If you hear me, please let me know in the chat that you can hear me. I always like to check the sound to make sure that you guys hear what I'm saying. All right, again, today's topic that we're talking about on this live is stop caring and you will manifest. Stop caring and you will manifest. So, the first thing I want to mention is that we are taught to care. Okay. You are taught that caring is a good thing. You are taught that you're supposed to care, that if you care, you're doing the right thing. But today I want to challenge that and to let you guys know that one thing that you have to understand about the law of attraction is that if you've been raised and brought up in an environment where you did not understand the law of attraction, nobody told you about it when you were little, you didn't grow up with that information, it wasn't kind of commonplace knowledge, maybe in your home, you really have to question just about everything that you believed prior to understanding the law of attraction. This is something that has become more and more in my awareness as time has gone on, is that just almost everything that I thought was accurate when I was younger is actually the opposite. And caring is one of those things. Caring. And it sounds like a bad thing to stop caring, but what we have to understand about caring is that when we care about something, we actually have a sense of insecurity. We actually have a sense of attachment. We actually have a sense of concern. When we don't care, when we are unbothered, when it doesn't matter to us, what actually that means, it isn't that we're a bad person. It means that we're detached and it means that we're in a state of feeling very secure. Everything's okay. So why do I need to care? And so it's very important to understand that we got to stop caring. And so this is the big thing that we're going to be talking about today in today's live. So I do invite you guys, as I'm going through, if you have questions about manifesting, feel free to go ahead and drop them into the chat, and I'll be answering some of those as I go along. And as I go along, what I'm going to share with you guys today are some examples of things that have happened to me personally, where there were things that I really cared a lot, and I wasn't getting results, or even worse, I was getting really negative results and couldn't get out of a bad situation. And how stopping caring resolved those situations magically. And so, if you have anything that you are struggling with right now, maybe there's something you really want to manifest, but it's just not happening. Or maybe even worse, you're in a situation where you're manifesting things you really don't want and you want the bad stuff to stop. I've got stories for both of those. And hopefully, you can find some inspiration through those to apply to your particular situation. Okay. So, again, as I'm going through, feel free to say hi. If you've got any questions, drop them into the chat. Today I'm on Instagram and I'm also over here on YouTube. Hello, Abundant Queen. Hello, Ivy. Hi, Pre. I see you got a super chat here. It's your first one. I'm going to come through and answer that one in just a second. Annette, hello. Hi, W. George. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Carlton. My lovely assistant, Mary, is here today. Hello, Mary. Sarita, CJ, Harish, Guillaume, Eva, Martine. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of you. All right. So again, today's topic is to stop caring. Okay. And you will manifest. Let me grab this super chat real quick from Pre. Thank you. This is your first super sticker. Hi, Andrea. Just purchased your new Letting Go course and enjoying it. My question is that I am wanting to manifest more friends and popularity, but I'm introverted and autistic, so people don't come. Well, first off, thanks so much for buying the course. And yes, that's the reminder. Yeah, the course that I've been talking about, guys, is live now. So this past Thursday, I set it to be live. So if you are interested in learning about that program, this program is about letting go and detaching. So if you are enjoying today's live and you want some more guidance on how to let go, this is a really great program to look into. With this program, a lot of times people struggle with things like letting go because they're afraid that if they let go it's not going to work out, or they just don't know how to trust that if they surrender things are going to work out. This is a training program that's going to show you how to do that. So if you're holding on to any current limitations or current things that you want to let go of, you're going to find a way to do that. And then also, I'm going to show you how to avoid getting attached from outcomes from the beginning so that you can kind of become that person who's just naturally detached and allows good things to come rather than automatically kind of clinging to the things that you really want. And so, Mary, if you would go ahead and drop that link into the chat, I'd appreciate it. I wanted to make that quick announcement there while I was thinking about it. If you're on Instagram and you're interested, the link is in my bio. And to sign up for that program, you can get it right now for 50% off using the coupon code RELAX. Relax. Okay, so I have it on sale for this launch week, but the sale will be closing on Thursday. So if you're interested, make sure to check out that link and learn all about it. All right, but let's get back to Pre's question here. Pre's in the course right now, and she's looking at maybe he. Is it a she or a he? I'm assuming a she. I don't know why I did that. Um, what we're trying to do is we're trying to attract friends, and I'm introverted and autistic, so people don't come. Okay, it's a really great question. So the automatic belief that we often have about making friends and acquaintances is that you need to be extroverted, right? So how many times have you heard this? Extroverted people have an easier time making friends. Introverted people do not. Okay. So what we want to do in this situation is we want to reframe that belief structure. Now, remember what I said at the beginning, okay? At the beginning of the video, what I was talking about is a lot of the things that you were brought up with. The process of the law of attraction is really about unlearning all of that. Okay. So all of these beliefs that we came into life with, if we did not grow up in an environment where we had a very abundant mindset or we were taught that very abundant mindset, a lot of those beliefs are trash. Okay. And so this is an example of one of those beliefs that is trash. Okay. And I'm just saying that because I want, for all my introverted folks out there, I want to talk for a second about this. I love that you brought up this question. This is actually something that I do mention a little bit later in the course. But one thing you have to understand about attracting people or attracting anything is that we have to become, again, detached. We have to let go. We have to be unbothered. All right. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up in this situation is somebody who is identifying here as being introverted and autistic. What's going on with this person is that what we're saying is me as an individual, I'm not attractive to other people because I'm not going out there pounding the pavement, getting up in people's faces, understanding people and all of that. All right. But when we attract things, we're unbothered and we don't care. Okay. So people actually who are not the types to be very insistent on making friends can actually have a really much easier time making friends because if they can harness that state of detachment on the outcome. What I mean by this is, have you ever met somebody who really wants to make friends and they're really, really extroverted and they're really, really eager and they really got to be friends with everybody? And they might be able to generate some momentum, but they have a hard time making genuine connections because they need the attention. They need it. Whereas somebody who maybe is a little bit more laid back and chill, a lot of times they have an easier time attracting in good relationships because they're not trying to make it happen all the time. Okay. So the reason why I'm telling you this is that if you can look at what you have as an asset rather than a liability, you can see that, having autism or being on that spectrum and being introverted actually can make you a stronger detacher in the area of relationships. It's just that we have this label that these aspects of my personality are going to get in the way of manifesting relationships. And so that becomes my hang up that pushes it away. But if you can look at it like, well, people prefer to be around people who don't need them so much. Now people can come in. And I'm speaking on this from personal experience because I'm pretty introverted. And it's very, very easy for me to bring people in because I don't push that on people. You don't have to be my friend. I'm not in your face all the way. But when I was younger, I did used to feel bad that I wasn't extroverted. And that feeling would make me more socially awkward. When I started to recognize that my natural detachment was an asset, it made it much easier for me to make friends. So thank you so much for bringing up that question. And of course, for signing up for my new program, the Relax and Detach program. Mary went ahead and put the link for that in the chat, and I pinned it to the top if you're interested in checking that out. Oh, we got another super sticker here. Let me grab this real quick before we move on. Christy, how do you balance taking action and letting go to manifest what you want? I do talk a lot about this in the program too. So this is another really great question. Okay, so balancing taking action and letting go is understanding at the core, we have to understand what the purpose of taking action is for. The flawed belief that most people carry about taking action is that the action creates the results. Okay, so if I'm taking action through that mechanism, what I'm saying is this isn't just going to come to me. Rather, I believe there's a certain steps that I have to take. And it's a very resistant kind of mindset. Okay. And this is why sometimes people have results with action and sometimes people don't, because the action itself doesn't actually cause the results. What causes the results is the energetic state. Okay. So when we take action, the purpose always for taking action is to get into the energetic state. Okay. So what I mean by this is let's say that you have something that you want to manifest and you get to that place of not caring, like we're talking about today, and detaching and totally letting go. This doesn't mean that you can't take action. You can certainly still take action. You can certainly still call the person or work on the business or whatever. But understand in your mind, it isn't the action that's causing the result, rather, it's the energetic state. So when you take action, the purpose of taking action is to get into flow and to get into a higher state of energy. So call when you feel like calling, work when you feel inspired, do the stuff when it makes you feel more in flow. If it's not doing that, it will not have an effect. I hope that helps. And again, that is something I definitely talk on in that program. All right, so I want to give you guys some stories on stopping caring and how it's impacted my life significantly. And so there's been a number of things that have happened that were high ticket items for me. So these were things that I early on was really resistant with, really struggling with. And I want to kind of share the story on those and then how the letting go happened, how the stopping caring happened, and how it had very dramatic, very quick effects. And so these stories are going to cross a few different domains. I want to talk about abundance, career, health, and relationships. So I want to give you guys a few different examples so that hopefully you hear something that's kind of close to whatever it is that you've got going on that you want some help detaching from. Okay. So let's start with the first one. Okay, so the first one here, this is something I've talked about, but it's been a while since I've really kind of gotten into it. So I want to bring it up because this is one that was one of the earlier ones where I had a big letting go moment, a big stopping caring moment, and it had a huge impact on my life. And it relates to my former drug addiction. Okay, so if you've been following me for a long time, you may have heard me talk about this, that I used to be pretty serious drug addict. I was doing everything. I was not a healthy person. I was, escapism as much as possible. It didn't matter to me really what the substance was. If somebody gave it to me, I'd probably try it. But I did develop a number of addictions. And the one that was the most challenging for me was my addiction to opioids. Okay, so these are like pain medications. Okay, so it's a class of drugs, but they all kind of work the same. They're like painkillers. Okay. And the problem with the opiate addiction was that I really wanted to get sober. It had been a long time. I was having a hard time functioning. I got into that point of addiction where it was not fun anymore, but I needed it. And if I did not get my drugs, I was sick. Okay. So I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would get nauseous. I wouldn't be able to eat. I would have stomach problems. I had restless legs. I was depressed. I was anxious. It was the worst. If you've ever had opiate withdrawal, you know what I'm talking about. It is horrendous. Well, I really wanted to stop using opioids and to get clean. And so I was really trying to stop. I stopped a number of times where I was able to quit, sometimes for a few days, sometimes for a few months. But I would get through the period of really intense withdrawal. I would start to get better, and then I would relapse. And this kept happening again and again and again. And there came to be a point after I learned about the law of attraction and I started to understand the power of letting go that I really wanted to internalize this concept of stopping caring with the hopes that something good would happen for me. So this was after really my final relapse. It had been a real doozy. I had been sick for a very long time. One thing that you may or may not know if you have opioid addiction is that the more you relapse, the harder it is to get off the next time. So your withdrawal periods get worse and worse and worse. And so it was a real doozy. Like I was sick for a very long time. And I relapsed and I knew about the law of attraction. I'm like, you know what? I can't keep trying anymore because trying isn't working. So this is one of those situations where I realized that I needed to stop caring about trying and I needed to stop caring about whether or not it worked out. So what I did in this situation is I kind of threw my hands up in the air. I'm like, you know what? I can't figure this out on my own. I know there's a solution to this. I know that the universe has a solution to this to get me off of substances and to do it in a way without withdrawal, but I don't know what it is. And maybe I'll never know what it is. And you know what? If I never find it, that's okay. And I committed to myself. I always remember it because I was in the kitchen in the home, in a particular home that I lived in a while back. And I remember having that exact thought in that exact moment. And I was really on board with it. I'm like, you know what? If I end up being addicted forever, so what? That's just what's going to have to be. And I tried my best. And if this is my fate to be a drug addict for the rest of my life, so be it. Tossed it up to the universe and just moved on about my business. Wasn't going to try to stop again. And it was the craziest thing because within a couple of days, I got an email that came in that I opened up. And it was an email talking about this substance called ibogaine. And if you've heard about it, let me know. But it's a particular hallucinogenic. It's another drug, but it's one of those new agey kind of solutions to problems, kind of like an ayahuasca, not really, but kind of like it. And it's known for getting people off of substances without withdrawal. And it was the craziest thing because I did not think it was possible to get off of opioids without withdrawal. I did not think it was possible. But because I had done this stop caring exercise and said, you know what, whatever, I decided to give it a chance. And lo and behold, it did something for me that years of trying to stop on my own and, cold turkey it and white knuckle it didn't do. It got me off of opioids very quickly and without any withdrawal, which was wild to me. Wild to me. Okay. So that's an example of how stopping caring can really just whatever kind of limitations or blocks you have about getting what you want, when you truly stop caring, solutions can come. I literally did not believe that it was possible to let go of an addiction like that without experiencing withdrawal. I did not think it was possible. I thought it was always going to be hard. But when I finally said, you know what, maybe I'll be an addict forever, that's fine, then the solution came. So it's a really good example when you just surrender and say, you know what, I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that it's not coming. That's that. You can often see really dramatic shifts when you just surrender control like that. All right. So I've got some more examples of this that I want to share with you guys, but I do want to come through and say hello. If you guys have questions on manifesting, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the chat. Hello, sexy fit chick. Sexy fit chick. Sorry. Aloha from Hawaii. We got this. Let's keep manifesting all that we want. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Thank you. Zifaroki, I'm suffering from my toddler not sleeping. Uh-oh. Nap when your toddler naps. Yeah, we talked about the sleeping sometimes. Sleeping can be making peace with not sleeping is helpful. A lot of times we will try and force ourselves to go to bed, or we worry about not being sharp in the morning or what it's going to do to us. If ever I go through a period where it's harder for me to sleep, I try to tell myself things like, okay, well, this is temporary, or my body doesn't need 8 hours every night. I mean, that would be nice, but it's okay. Or I can nap later in the day, or you know what, I'm just going to sit here and kind of relax, or I'm going to enjoy this time with my toddler. You want to try and reframe it. Don't fight against it. Don't fight against it. Ooh, Cowlitz Bill, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I like that name. I keep getting charged for a VPN service I canceled a decade ago, even though I complained about it. They keep doing it. How do I get rid of this situation and have it turn out in my favor with the law of attraction? Well, I mean, if it were me, I would just call the credit card company and cancel the charge. I mean, that's the solution I've got. I mean, there's ways we could try and energetically do it, but that's what I feel called. Call the credit card company, sprinkle, sprinkle. Tell them what's up. They'll turn it off for you. Tutu, hi Andrea. I want to manifest being wealthy. Should I go for the manifesting fast lane or extreme abundance course? What are the main differences between these two courses? Thank you. Manifesting fast lane's much bigger. It's a bigger course and it comes with two coaching sessions. Extreme abundance comes with one. I would say I would base it off of your experience level with the law of attraction and how comfortable you feel with manifesting intentionally. Manifesting Fastlane is a little bit more of an advanced program. Okay, so that one, if you're pretty comfortable with putting things out and getting them back, I would go for that one. If you feel a little bit more intermediate, I would go with Extreme Abundance. And that the nice thing about that one is that one really speaks to abundance programming specifically. But that's what I would probably look at is where do I feel? Do I feel more intermediate, or do I feel like I'm a little bit more on the advanced side? And let that kind of be your guide. I always don't not I always forget how to say this. Hoponopono. What is that? You know what I'm talking about? Ah, okay. Anyway, here's your question. I quit a lot of stuff. Smoking is still a thing I would like to get off from. I used to be a smoker too, believe it or not. One thing that's helpful for smoking is associating the negatives. This is actually something that's very helpful if you guys want to quit stuff, is to start to associate what you do with the negatives. Because when we become addicted to something, we start to see it for the positives. So like with smoking, oh, it's a break, or oh, I get a little buzz off of it, or oh, I feel a little bit relaxed. And so you start to associate the addiction with the positives. But what you want to start to do instead is to focus on the negatives. So here's the other thing. Allow yourself to smoke. This is what I did. Okay. Allow yourself to smoke. That's still the stop caring. But when you smoke, remind yourself before you smoke, this is going to taste terrible. This is going to make my clothes smell horrible. This is going to make me cough. And then when you smell, notice how disgusting it is. Okay. Because what will happen is you're going to start to wire your mind to think this is gross. I don't want this. Okay. That can be very helpful with quitting stuff. There's other ways to do it too, but that's what I did for the smoking. All right. So let's continue on again. Today we're talking about stop caring and you will manifest. And so this is so important because we've been taught to care. You've been taught that caring is a virtue. Caring's not a virtue. Caring is it's an insecurity. It's an attachment. If I care, it means I'm not secure that everything's okay. It means I'm worried that things aren't going to work out. That's what caring means. When we don't care, when we're unbothered, our energetic state is everything's fine and I'm okay. You may know some people like this. Have you ever met someone like this who's kind of a slacker and doesn't care? And yet everything works out for them? Have you ever worked with somebody like this? Before I knew about the law of attraction, this used to drive me completely insane that I would be working with people at times in my job and I would care so much and I'd be trying so hard and I would not get the promotion. I would not get the raise. I would not get the good assignments. And my coworker who was a slacker who didn't care would get ahead. Okay. Why is that? Because the slacker is unbothered and knows everything's okay. All right. And so I'm not saying that you have to be a slacker. It's not that they weren't doing anything, is what benefited them. It was the not caring. Okay. So you can still do things like we talked about before. You can still take action. But what you want to be doing is having that attitude that you are unbothered whether things work out or not. Okay. Oh, Rita, thank you for the super sticker. It's like that's your first one. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So I gave you guys a story about the drug addiction. Okay. To me, some people think, when you manifest, did you manifest money or this or that? For me, that was the biggest one because who knows where I'd be if that hadn't worked itself out. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the next one. Okay. So this one's more of an abundance career one. All right. So when I started doing what I do now, I wanted to start a business. I always wanted to kind of run my own thing, do my own thing. And so I started doing what I do today. It didn't look like what I do today. I did blogging and I did some other stuff, but I started kind of working in this realm and working in the realm of business. And it was something I really wanted was to have my own business and for it to be successful and for me to make a lot of money. That's what I wanted. And initially, I was able to get it up and running, and I was able to get people to watch and all this kind of stuff, but I wasn't really making money. Okay. I wasn't really making money, not the way that I wanted to. Okay. So I did okay. I made a little bit of money here. I got better, but I had a couple years where my income really just stagnated and it was stuck at one particular level. And it really bugged me because I wanted to level up and I felt like I was stagnant. And after 2 years of kind of being in the same spot, again, I remembered this concept of stopping caring, just stop caring. And so what ended up happening is this epiphany came to me over the New Year's time. Because right around New Year's, you start thinking about your business goals for the year and how much money I made last year and how much money I want to make this year. And I was sitting down to think about my goals and I realized, you need to stop making goals here and just stop caring. And so what I did in that year was I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about making money at all. If I make the amount of money that I made the last 2 years, I would be fine with that. It's okay. I'm going to be just fine on that. So you know what? I'm not even going to worry about making any goals. I'm just going to keep coasting where I'm at. And the only thing I'm going to focus on is having fun this year and doing what I want to do. That's it. And so I set off into that year with that attitude. And my income that year tripled, skyrocketed, blasted out of outer space. So all this work that I'd been doing for 48 months prior had really gotten me nowhere. It was a lot of effort that kept me standing in the same place. But the minute I said, I'm just not going to try this year, I'm just going to be okay where I'm at. Now all of a sudden the floodgates opened because I wasn't fighting, I wasn't trying, I didn't care anymore, and I wasn't insecure anymore. It's a big, big lesson for this one when it comes to abundance and when it comes especially to career, because when we look at things like career and making money, the way we define that is work. I'm working. And so we have this attitude that I got to work. I got to take action. I got to try. And we really get out of our heads about the energetic state. When you can get to the point where you say, I just don't care. Now, all of a sudden, the floodgates will open for you. It's very counterintuitive. It's something that you're not going to understand unless you actually do it, but it does work tremendously well. And so a lot of times I do get tons of questions about abundance from people. Lots of people want to attract abundance. And the main thing that's often going on is people will say things like, "Well, I'm making 50,000 a year, I'm making 100,000 a year, but this is what I want." And they want this bigger goal, but what they're doing in the moment is that they're looking at their current goal saying, "This isn't enough. I'm not happy with this, and I care a lot about getting to the next level." If you can do what I did in that situation, which is to look at where you're at financially and make peace with it. Kind of like what I did with the drugs too. You know what? If I'm at 50,000 for the rest of my life, so be it. I'm going to be just fine. Take that off the table. I don't care anymore. The minute you don't care anymore, now you're not fighting against that increased abundance, and you will be shocked and amazed with how quickly it comes to you. Okay, so a lot of the stopping caring is about recognizing when you're really, really resistant with something that you continuing to try isn't going to get you results. You continuing to try to get clean isn't going to get you results. You continuing to try and push your business forward isn't going to get results if you're in that state where you've been bashing your head into the wall. In those situations, it's really best to say, you know what? I'd like some help. That'd be great. But if it doesn't come, I'm going to be fine. I'm abundant as I am. Okay. So that's another story for you guys about how letting go, and that really catapulted my ability to make money, sincerely. So I do recommend that. If you've been trying to get ahead with money and it's not working, not working, not working, stop caring about hitting that next level. So, you know what? If I'm here for the rest of my life, I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to be just fine. I'm just going to have fun instead with my work and see how that works for you. Okay. Okay. Hope I should know this. Ho'oponopono. I can never say it. All right, whatever. That's my limitation. Is it a prayer? What is it? I've done it before. It's been a while. All right. So again, if you guys have manifesting questions, please go ahead and drop them into the chat. Of course, if you have not yet, follow me on Instagram, and also make sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube as well. I do lives like this every week. I love talking to you guys. So if you're enjoying the conversation, please go ahead and subscribe. And yep, that's that plug. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. All right. Questions. Let's see what you guys have going on here. TC8801. I was anxious when I counted my money savings for uni, but realized counting that much money, I should enjoy it. And this morning I realized I had two envelopes with 450 euros each. Nice. So instead of being anxious when thinking about the money, we're going to have fun while we count the money, and then we're going to attract more money. Same kind of idea, right? Instead of focusing on what I don't have, I'm going to sit here and appreciate what I do have, and now it's going to grow. Great question. Paul Turner at Sprinkle Sprinkle. You could send them a GDPR request to delete all your account data. Oh, that's a thing too? Well, there you go. See, look at all these suggestions coming in. Starting at 50, came across my videos a few days ago and can't stop watching. Well, thank you. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you. Oh, we got another super chat here. I don't know when this one came in. Sorry here. Les Explorateurs. It's French, excuse me. Les Explorateurs. My issue is with money. Every time I stop caring and just enjoy things, things get really bad and debt piles up. This cycle keeps repeating. Stop caring and just enjoy life. Things get really bad. Well, there's some discord there with that. Yeah. I would say I would reevaluate when you say I'm stopping caring and just enjoying life. There may be a belief that if I'm not responsible, things are going to fall apart. That might be getting in your way. When we stop caring and just enjoy life, it really means there is not a care in the world or concern. Okay. But this doesn't mean that we behave in a way that we deem to be irresponsible. So I think this is an important distinction because sometimes I think when people hear me talk about stop caring and just do what you want, well, I don't want to go to work and I don't want to pay the bill or I don't, da, 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 so I'm just not going to do those things. But in the back of my mind, I'm worried that if I don't do those things, negative things are going to happen. Okay. So, what I would recommend for this situation is instead of looking at not caring in a very black and white way, either I'm working really hard and trying really hard, or I'm being completely irresponsible. Look at it as I can get through my day to day doing the things that I want and feel that I need to do with an unbothered attitude. Okay. So what I mean by this is I don't want you guys to say, okay, not caring means I'm gonna be irresponsible, or not caring means that I'm not gonna pay a bill, or not caring means I'm not gonna do things I think I need to do, but rather these are the things I think I need to do. So I'm still gonna do them, still gonna go through the motion, but I'm not going to be concerned about it. Okay. Now, truthfully, you can get to a place where you literally don't need to do anything. Okay. That is true because action is not required to manifest a desire. So this is an important distinction to understand. I'm really glad that you brought up this question. Action is not required to manifest a desire. But if I believe that I have to pick up my kids from school, if I believe I have to pay a bill, if I believe I need to make that phone call and I don't do those things and tell myself, well, this is my letting go, I don't care time, in my mind, I'm worried that not doing that's going to have a negative effect. So that's what's going on. So you have to give yourself permission to do the things that you feel that you need to do. Okay. Maybe I don't really want to do them, but I feel like I need to do them. So I'm going to do them in as least of a bothered way as possible, but I'm not going to worry about it. That's the stopping caring. Okay. You kind of have to honor your other belief structures. You don't need to get rid of all of them at once. I hope that's helpful. Ellie, thank you for the super chat. Any tips to manifest something by Friday? I feel confident it is happening either way, but would like it to happen in time for a special event. Okay, so it sounds like you've got a pretty good attitude about it. So the thing about like time crunches that gets in the way with people is that, oh, it has to happen by Friday, or oh my gosh, it's bad. Okay. And so when we try to manifest from a time crunch situation where we're worried about it happening by a certain date, it'll drag its feet. Okay, because we're worried. So the kind of attitude of, well, it's okay if it happens or not, is the one that you want to have. And when I have situations like that where there's something fairly specific or a specific time that I would like to see it, the kind of attitude that I try to have is, well, wouldn't that be fun if that happened? That'd be a fun manifesting story if that happened. Okay. So that's the way I would look at it. Th- just see if it happens, just for fun, rather than I need it to happen by Friday. Because it sounds like you don't need it to happen by Friday. So I don't need it to happen by Friday. Okay. The other option is I don't want it to come by Friday. I want it to take longer. So that's another game that you can play. I've talked about this before. You can decide, you know, I don't want it to come by Friday. I want to see it come on Saturday, or I want it to come later than Sunday, and try and give yourself reasons to push it out to the point where you don't even want it on Friday. And then it will come on Friday just as kind of like you just kind of like manipulate your mind in order to letting go of the Friday date. But for you, I think the better way to go is just, hey, maybe it'd be fun if it happened. That's it. That's it. I don't need to make it happen. Maybe it'd be fun. I did that once with a friend. We were going to a trip to Cancun, and this was manifesting for somebody else, but the story's coming to mind. So, why not? And for some reason, I don't know, she wanted this shirt. I don't remember why. It was a Miami Dolphins shirt. We were in a Fort Lauderdale airport, and it was a shirt that was like a limited edition shirt, I believe. There was a reason for it. I forget why. But it was a limited edition shirt that she wanted. And sometimes I like to manifest things for my friends. Well, it was limited edition and we were flying out of Fort Lauderdale and we were going to be in Cancun for a week. So the shirt would have been gone by the time we got back. Okay, long story short. But we got to the airport and she was talking about this shirt. I'm like, oh, I really want her to get this shirt. That'd be really cool. Okay, that'd be really cool if she got the shirt. Well, we went up to one of those stands where they sell stuff. They were selling shirts and they had the shirts, but they didn't have them in her size. And she was a small. They had extra small, they had medium, they had large, no small. Okay. And so she didn't want it. She was kind of bummed. And I'm like, oh, you know what? It's fine. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It'd be nice if it did before we leave. It'd be really cool if I could manifest it for her before between here and there. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not my shirt. Who cares? Well, as we were walking to the airport, my eye caught another one of those stands, and there was one small left. Okay. So it's kind of like that letting go. If it doesn't happen, it's fine. It's okay if it doesn't happen. Boom, then it comes. Okay. But if I've been holding on to it, like I got to get her this shirt, I got to prove what a manifesting wizard I am, it wouldn't have happened. Hope that's helpful. All right. Again, today we are talking about stop caring and you will manifest. Okay. So we stop caring. Caring's the problem. Okay. Caring is the problem. Remember, you've been taught that caring is an important thing. The more you care, the better of a person you are. Mm-mm. The more you care, the more insecure you are. The less you care, the more secure you are. Because when we don't care, we're not concerned, we're not worried. Okay? All right, so next story. All right, so I talked about the drug addiction, I talked about the business. Let's talk about a health one. Another health one. So this is something I've mentioned before too. My back. I get stuff like this from a lot from people. Like when you're dealing with physical ailments that you want to go away, it can be very hard to stop caring about a physical ailment, to stop caring that the pain goes away or that the suffering goes away. And I know this from experience because I had very bad back problems. Funny enough, it happened after I got sober. It was right after, like a few months after I got sober. And so I got sober from pain medication. And then I threw my back out, not once, not twice, but three times. Okay. And the third time was a real doozy. Like I was laid out. I could barely get off the couch. I couldn't walk. Okay. So like I had a chair like this, like one of these chairs that rolls around, and my kids would like push me around the house because I couldn't walk. It was bad. And the really bad thing was I couldn't take pain medication because I was a recently recovering opioid addict. So it was a real doozy. And so I've been going and doing my best to do everything that I could possibly do to remedy this back condition. So I was doing all the little exercises. I bought like these little machines. If you've seen these before, you can strap them to your back and it hits you with electric shocks. I was taking turmeric. I was rubbing icy hot back there, like whatever I could possibly do to try and work this back thing out. I was really trying. I was going to the chiropractor. I was doing everything I could, and it was not getting better. And I was literally to the point where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen to me. Am I just going to be confined to a wheelchair at some point? Like that's kind of where my mind was at. And this was confirmed when I went to go see my chiropractor for the last time, because the chiropractor is like, well, we've done all we can do. And looking at the x-rays, it's pretty clear that you need to go get surgery. And that was the drill. I was going to have to get surgery. Now, again, at this point in my life, I understood about the law of attraction. I did. And I did not want to get surgery for a number of reasons. Okay. I won't get into all the reasons why, but I did not want that. And so it became clear to me that I needed to kind of implement the same attitude that I had when it came to getting sober, which was the letting go, surrender, and stop caring attitude. And so it was the same kind of mechanism. You know what? I know there's an answer out there. I know I don't have to get surgery. I know this can resolve itself. I do not know the way. I do not know how to get there. I do not know how to try myself to get there. I've tried everything I can. Obviously, trying isn't helping. So I'm going to stop trying. I'm going to stop trying. I'm just going to let it go. And you know what? If I'm confined to my kids pushing me around in this chair for the rest of my life, so be it. Because I'm not going to go get surgery and I'm not going to try anymore. And that's it. Notice how with each of these situations, I'm accepting the worst case scenario, accepting it. Maybe I'll be a drug addict the rest of my life. Maybe I'm only going to make this much money the rest of my life. Maybe I'm going to be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of my life. So be it. Throw my hands up. That's what it is. That's what it is. Believe it or not, started getting better. Almost immediately, I started getting better. And within a couple months, I was back in the gym and able to do all kinds of stuff. Today, I can do back bends. I talk about this a lot. I can do deadlifts. I've got really superior back flexibility and strength. And it's funny because once in a while, someone my age or maybe a little older will come up to me and be like, "Wow, it's amazing that you can do that. I can't do that because of this, or I had this injury when I was a kid. I can't do that. I can't do that." And I'm just sitting there looking at them like, "You have no idea what you can do. Because if I can do this after that, you can absolutely do it." But in people's minds, they've convinced themselves that they're too old or their back's going to break or whatever. It's interesting. Okay. But stopping caring turned that around. I literally was supposed to go get surgery. The x-ray said you're done, you're toast, your back is done. Mm-mm, nope. But the way there wasn't through my action. It was through surrendering and saying, okay, fine. We got broken back the rest of my life. That's what it is. That's what solved the case. Okay. All right. Oh, we got another super chat here. Amy's hi from Finland. I've been in debt for ages. The monthly amount has become huge. I've grown my income lately and I make good money nowadays. Still, my salary goes to interests. Please help. Okay. So I get lots of questions about the debt. I have a course on the debt. That one is Money Mastery. If you're interested in that one, Mary, if you drop a link to that one, go ahead and put that one in the chat for me, please. I'd appreciate it. But the big suggestions for the debt, okay, is that you want to be looking at not spending on credit and spending more in cash. And this is not for the purpose of saving. It's not for the purpose of not accumulating more debt. Okay. It's about correcting the most common thing that happens with people when it comes to debt is that they've got some money over here. Maybe it's not a huge pile, but they've got some money over here. But instead of just naturally deferring to paying in cash, what they often do is say, okay, I don't want to touch this money over here. Instead, I'm going to use the credit. Okay. I don't want to touch this money over here. Instead, I want to use the credit. Now, the energy thing that happens is that when we say that, what we're saying is, I don't have the money for this, or I believe money is scarce. I don't want to, my money is limited. Okay. That's why I want to use somebody else's money because my money is limited. My money is limited. My money is limited. And so, even if you're doing a good job of attracting money, which it sounds like you are, which is good. Okay. So, you're moving in the right direction with attracting money. But if you're holding on to anything like that, you're going to attract to yourself situations that make your money more limited and will keep your debt expanding. Okay. So instead, you want to train yourself, all of you guys, as much as you can. You want to train yourself to try and pay cash or pay on credit cards that you pay off at the end of the month. And you want to be telling yourself, I've got the money for this. I've got the money for this. I've got the money for this. Because what that is an abundant mindset about spending and money. Okay. That's kind of the big thing. Now, here's the thing if that concerns you, here's the other part of this. Okay. Sometimes people worry about, well, I don't want to touch this money. Rather use the credit. You can always use the credit if you run out of money. If you actually legitimately run out of money, the credit's still there. Okay. But don't default to using that. A lot of people just default to using that. Don't do that. Default to using your cash as much as you possibly can. All right. Yeah, it's that second link Mary put in. All right, guys. Again, today we're talking about not signs. Stop caring. No signs today. Stop caring and you will manifest. Stop caring and you will manifest. All right, so we've given you some examples. I want to give you guys another example. This one's a relationship example. Oh my gosh. Letting go in relationships. Stop caring in relationships. And caring in relationships is often challenging for people because we're very specifically told to care in relationships, aren't we? You're supposed to care a lot. Funny enough, the more you care, the more problems you got. And you may have experienced this before. The more you care, the more problems you're going to have inside of a relationship or in creating a relationship in the first place. And so the people that have the more detached, non-caring attitudes tend to fare much better in attracting and maintaining relationships. And so this kind of defaults back to that earlier question that we had about being introverted or being autistic and how we see that as an impediment for relationships, but it doesn't have to be, because you can be a lot more detached in those situations. All right, but let's talk about the relationship situation I want to talk about, because a lot of times people will write in with questions about their spouses with the law of attraction. And my spouse is this way and I want them to be this way. And this was something I went through too, because if you learn about the law of attraction and you're already married in specific, what will happen invariably is that you're going to find yourself wanting to have more positive beliefs and to live a more positive life, but your spouse is still going to be reflecting back old beliefs that you used to carry. Okay. And so that can create a disparity between you and your spouse. Okay. So, for instance, like with me and my husband, before I learned about the law of attraction, I was not a positive person. Okay. Not at all. I gossiped and complained and was angry about a lot of things and cared a lot about a lot of things. Okay. And not surprisingly, we matched up on that level. And so within our relationship, there were lots of fights, there was lots of anger, there was lots of stress, there was lots of conflict. And if people do not understand the power of positivity, or if they grow up in a more, kind of abusive environment when they're younger, that kind of way of being can translate into their relationships when they get married. And so, what was a more toxic dynamic when I got married? It was toxic, but I didn't really see it that way because it was normal to me. But as I learned about the law of attraction, I wanted to correct that relationship. I wanted to get us to a place where we were both thinking positive and able to connect and not having issues and blah, blah, blah. And so I tried. I tried to explain positivity. I tried to tried to make him see my way. And the funny thing about that is it actually made fights worse. And so sometimes people may see that is that you may find yourself when you're learning about the law of attraction trying to improve relationships, and it actually has the exact opposite effect, which it actually causes the problems to become stronger and to become more complicated and to become harder. Okay. Now, I had kind of this come to Jesus moment. We went on this vacation, and on the vacation, it was a real disaster. I mean, the vacation itself wasn't that bad, but just like the dynamic between us was just not good. Lots of stress, lots of, irritation. And I got home from that vacation and I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm done. I don't care anymore. And it was the craziest thing because it was like I literally ceased to care in that moment. Like, you know what? Me trying isn't changing anything. He wants to be like that, fine. He can be whatever he wants. I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm not going to care anymore. And if the relationship implodes, if the marriage implodes, fine, fine, because I'm done caring. And wouldn't you know, that's exactly the moment that he got on board. And a person that I've been dragging along with me, trying to get them to see my way of doing things, trying to get them to be positive, trying to get them to be like me, suddenly, with zero effort from me whatsoever, metamorphose into a partner that treats me like gold. Okay. So, this is something to understand within your relationship dynamics. A lot of times we want to go to work with our partners or with people that we want to have relationships with, and we want to try to make them be more positive. The more we want to make them be positive, the more we care. The more we care, the more insecure we are about the change. And so actually letting go and deciding, you know what, if this person wants to stay negative or stay distant or stay toxic or whatever, and just accept it and move on with your life, that's the minute that they'll change for you. Okay. And it's completely opposite to what most people will do in relationships. They'll try to drag their partner to therapy and cram all that stuff down their throat. It has the exact opposite effect. You really have to stop caring. In relationships in particular, again, we're taught to care, but caring is a flawed belief structure. Caring actually means that we're insecure. Oh, hi, Chris. Thank you for the super chat. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of things I'm trying to manifest: house, romance, success in business, and music career, and body goals. Okay. Well, it's good to want a lot of things. Good to want a lot of things. Here's my suggestion: take those things and look at them and ask yourself, which of those things, house, romance, success in business, music, career, and body goals, which of those things do I feel the most optimistic about creating right now? Which one do I feel has the most positive momentum? Which is the one that I feel is going to have the most success? Whichever that one is, go ahead and cross off the other ones on the list for now and just focus on that thing. Okay. So I'm not saying that you don't go to work or you don't do these other things at all. But in terms of where we're going to try and generate momentum, focus on generating momentum in that area. So if it were me and I looked at those things and I said, okay, well, the one that I feel that I have the most chance for success with is romance. Okay. Then what I might do is anything that I've been doing to focus and manifest, I'll just focus in on that thing. Okay, so maybe I'll journal about possibilities with romance or affirm about romance, and I'll dial in with that one because that's the one that has the most believability. The one that has the most believability is the one that's going to be the easiest for you to manifest. And so, as that one grows, you're going to start to notice that you're having more and more success with that one area. Your confidence gets bigger and you're manifesting. And you're going to notice that you start to feel like, okay, I got this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Now go back to your list and ask yourself the same question. Okay, from the remaining four, which one looks like the one that I'll have the most success with next? Then add that one in. Okay. You want to use momentum. Okay. If we get overwhelmed, it means that we're trying to do too much. Okay. There is no rush. You don't need to do it all at once, and you don't have to. And you may also find that just knocking one of them out and getting that confidence allows the doors to open for the other ones. Okay. That's my suggestion for that. Oh, I haven't been over here to Instagram in a minute. See what you guys can think over here. The Mad Men quote. I love Mad Men. That's like one of my favorite shows. Chris, Chrissy Thor. Did you just say that out loud or write it down or just say in your head, I don't care over and over again in your meditation? Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Okay, so these moments of not caring for me have been more like F it moments. Like I'm fed up, I'm done. Okay. So remember when I was talking a little bit about the smoking and how one way that you can quit a habit is by like dousing it in the negativity? You can do that to get you to this place of not caring. So if you can look at, okay, I've been trying, let's just say it's business. I've been trying to make this work. I've been trying to make this work. And I can notice how stressed I've been about it, how much frustration I've been putting into it, how aggravated I am, how low my vibration is, and really start to identify this is making me feel like crap. Trying to make this manifest is making me feel like crap. I don't want to feel like crap anymore. Screw it. I'm done. That's the moment. Okay. So if you ever have that moment where you're like, F it, I'm done. That's that moment that you want to get. So it's not something that you have to journal. It's not something that you have to write down. It's get fed up. Get fed up with banging your head against the wall of trying to make this happen. So I would rather sit in this chair and get pushed around my house for the rest of my life than try to keep making this work because it's frustrating the heck out of me. Okay. It's that moment. Okay. I hope that makes clearer sense about what I'm talking about with the stop caring moments. Glad you asked that. Still trying to help me here. Just say all the letters one by one, sis. Okay. Ho'oponopono. Did I do it? Or did I still screw it up? You guys tell me. Not attaching to the outcome, exactly. Jen and Harb too. What do you do when everything closes, no work, no income, no food, almost in the street, and you see no way out, trying to focus on gratitude, but I'm stuck? Okay, let's not focus on gratitude. Gratitude's a good idea, but we're not feeling it yet. Just focus on having, not gratitude. So when you start having a spiral where you're going down, 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 and you're seeing lack accelerate, That just means that we're focusing on the lack. This is going away. This is going away. I'm losing this. I'm losing this. I'm losing this. I'm losing this. So I lose more, lose more, lose more, lose more. That's the way it works. Okay. So, what you want to do in situations like this, wherever you're at, what do I have? I have a shirt. Okay. I have shoes. Maybe I have, maybe I do have some food. Maybe I have shelter. I have water. I have air. I have a planet. I have this. I have a personality. I have intelligence. What do I have? Okay. I have. I would recommend in a situation like this, specifically, get a journal. If you don't have a journal, use the phone or whatever device you're on right now and create a journal in that device. And I want you to be, I have this, I have this, I have sunshine, I have water, I have facilities to use, I have, what do I have? Okay. Whenever you start to feel frustrated, dial back into what you have. Now, the thing about this is when you focus on having, the spiral switches. So now instead of things being taken, you're going to start getting to reinforce I have. Add those things as they come in to your list. Oh, well, I found $5. Now I have $5. I made a new friend. Now I have a new friend. Let that accelerate. Okay. When that starts to accelerate, and it's not going to be like, oh, if you're in a really dire situation, the first thing that comes isn't going to be $5 million. Okay. Because the vibration's too low in that situation. The first thing that comes may be $5. It may be a sandwich. It may not be something huge. Okay. The first things that come, oh my gosh, I manifested more having. Get excited about it. And that's where you show the gratitude when the new things come in. Okay. That's how you show appreciation. And like I always mention, appreciation has two meanings. Appreciation means I'm thankful, and it also means to grow. So an investment appreciates. Anything that you are thankful and have gratitude towards will appreciate as well. But let's not try and show gratitude right now for the things that you have, because right now we feel like we're down in the dumps. Instead, just focus on having. And when you attract having something else, then show the appreciation. I hope that is helpful. Another quick reminder, guys, again, my new program on letting go is now live. If you've been enjoying this particular live today, I have just released my brand new program, and it's a lot of people have been signing up for it. I've got a lot of really great things people have been saying about it, so I think it's going to be a big hit. If you want to check it out, my lovely assistant Mary has dropped it into the chat. If you are on Instagram, you can check it out. The link is in my bio. But this program is really about teaching you how to become a master detacher. Okay. Now, most of us have not been taught how to become master detachers. We've been taught to work hard. We've been taught to try. We've been taught to care. We have not been taught to let go. We've not been trained on how to be unbothered, but it's a skill that can be learned just like anything else. And so in this program, specifically what I'm going to be showing you how to do is how to release fear and frustration over letting go, because a lot of times people are nervous. If I stop trying, it's not going to work out. Okay. So we show you how to let that go. Also, I'm going to show you how to develop a sense of trust, because trust is really important. That's a big thing people struggle with, is if I let it go, how do I just trust it's going to work out? Well, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to show you how do you let go and actually trust that things are going to work out on your behalf. Other things that we talk about is, how do you surrender in situations where your reality is showing you that it's not going to work out? So kind of like what I was talking about before with the back injuries and all that kind of stuff, reality is really showing you and painting you a very vivid negative picture. How do you let go in those particular situations? Okay. And then also, not only will I show you how to detach from any current outcomes that you're struggling with, I'm also going to show you how to not get attached in the first place, so you can just be the kind of person who lets things go easily. So if this is a program you're interested in, again, check out the link. If you use the coupon code RELAX now through Thursday only, it will be on a launch sale of 50% off. So if you're at all interested in that program, make sure to go on over there, check it out and see, because you want to make sure to get it at that deep discount while I have it. Oh, we have another super chat here. Let me grab this real quick. Dan B Travels. I've noticed the thing I'm trying to manifest is getting closer to me, to the people nearby all of a sudden, but not to me. Should I keep on trying or start something new? New strategy. Okay, so I like that when that happens. So for all of you guys, this is a common phenomenon. Okay. There's something that you want, and then you start seeing other people get it, or you start seeing it in your reality. I want you to validate that, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about this and I'm seeing more evidence of it. I'm manifesting more evidence of it. So see it as getting closer. It's getting closer to me. I'm bringing it in. The natural tendency a lot of people have is that if they see somebody else get it, they get envious. Why they get it, not me? So notice how when we have that attitude, now we're in a state of lack. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. So I'm telling you guys this because every time you have this situation, if you can train yourself to use this situation for everything in the future, you can make it a lot quicker and easier for you to get the things that you want, because very frequently you will see evidence elsewhere before it comes to you as your faith is building. So I would be confirming that my belief in this is obviously growing. That's why I'm seeing evidence of it. Now, provided you can think that and feel good about that, you're headed in the right direction. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's coming. Okay. If that feels a little bit off because we haven't practiced that idea, and that I don't like that, I feel envious. If you really do truly feel envious about it right now, put out that idea. Okay. It's coming closer. And then put your hands off of it and go focus on something else, because we don't want to amplify the envy or the lack of vibration. But if that idea of it's coming closer feels good, then you don't need to defocus. Your focusing is doing perfect work for you. All right, guys. Kenny, do I accept Bitcoin? Sorry. No, I don't. I wouldn't know what to do with a Bitcoin. I'm sorry. All right. So, guys, I am going to go ahead and log off now because it's about that time for me. But thanks so much for joining me on today's live. I do plan on coming on Thursday. I missed last Thursday's stream because the course was going live and I was having lots of people coming in and stuff going on. So I wasn't able to make that one. But I do plan on being back on Thursday this week to do another live. On Thursday, I will be on Facebook instead of Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, join me either over on YouTube or on Facebook. All right, guys. But thank you so much. I really enjoyed seeing all of you. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay. Bye-bye.